question is on infrastructure, and we'll begin with Mr. Murphy. Given the limited amount of funding available for road paving each year in the city, how do you feel the city should prioritize which roads get repaired? Which roads do you feel should have priority and why?
Well, you've touched on a subject that has been something I've been advocating for on the city council, and that is we need to have a master plan for how our roads are going to be repaired and maintained, rather than just on an ad hoc basis and who can come and be the loudest at City Hall. These should be objective criteria about the condition of our roads, especially as we move to districts, because there's going to be a tendency for council members to want to only advocate for roads in their districts when there might in fact be another road or roads that are more in need. So the priority has to be on having an update to our master road plan and prioritizing arterials that get the most use from our residents on down to collector streets and neighborhood streets. But I believe that those arterials, which are in the worst shape, need to be the top priority, along with a master plan that we can agree on. Maybe your district isn't going to get a road repair this year, but we know that you're in line, for example, next year with the limited amount of funding that we have.
Thank you. Mr. Pedroso.
Thank you. This is something that I've worked on for quite some time. I've spent the last 3 years advocating for Campus Parkway and making sure that Campus Parkway is something that, as a main roadway and as a connector between two state highways 140 and 99, it's something that we need to focus on and focus on the development of, because there's industrial park space out there, there's retail space. We need to make sure that that's done. But we also need to look at, the roads, not just, our main arterials, because our main arterial roads are failing. There are some big spots to that. But I drop my son off every morning at school, and there's big potholes and big holes at the asphalt that's kicking up. We need to look at all of that, and we need to make sure that as we are, going through the district process and making sure that as we were talking about the infrastructure and improvements in infrastructure, that we're, creating a list of priorities and what are the priorities of the community, and making sure that we are keeping everybody safe. We also need to maintain, as part of the infrastructure and transportation, we've done light synchronization, for environmental quality. We need to make sure that we are continuing to do that and focusing on some of those quality of life issues that I think our residents deserve.
Thank you. Mrs. Adams.
Well, when you look at prioritizing your roads, I drive all over this city every single week with my cookie company. My business goes all the way out from UC Merced to John Deere, from Home Depot to Golden Valley. I am all over this city, literally, in the alleys, lots of businesses. And I see where a lot of our roads haven't been maintained for the last 30 years. And so a lot of those are out by where the old Pepsi plant is, a lot of the older homes in UC Merced, South Merced. A lot of those roads haven't been fixed. Those people haven't seen any maintenance whatsoever, like I said, in over 30 years. I am the only candidate that was born and raised in South Merced, had a business in downtown Merced, and now live in Merced. Again, all over the city, I see that these are some of our worst roads. We need to concentrate on that. And then the roads that bring people in and out of the city, our on-ramps, off-ramps, those things. People see, businesses see how we are. What we look like before they move here. These are some of the things that we really need to keep up and keep in some of the best conditions in order to attract them. Because a lot of our city looks like a ghetto coming into our city and going out, and that's the truth. And so we really need to make sure that those parts of the city are the ones that are maintained first in order to get more infrastructure in here.
Thank you very much. Mr. Lohr.
Thank you. Infrastructure is very important. Over the years, when we have our budget session at City Hall, we only include department heads, city council members, prioritize projects, and we have our star and choose which one is most important and rate by that way. I think it's very important for the city to engage the city, citizens, neighborhood, to do the same, have citizens to prioritize which roads. It's very important that we start with business, road that run through business, and also neighborhood. And we need to do more engaging with the citizens in that way, so that we can have citizens participate in the process. At the same time, if a neighborhood road is very run down, it will increase or attract more crime. So that we need to also pay attention to that way. When we go to our district this year, it's very important that we have a good engagement with our citizen and neighborhood. Thank you.
Okay, thank you all.